last week there was a fatal shooting, mass shooting, at the Fort Lauderdale airport in Florida. Esteban Santiago was the shooter, and he is in police custody, but we're now learning more and more about him. Now, unfortunately, the shooting claimed the lives of 5 individuals, and about 8 others were injured. What we know now, though, is that he has a history of some mental health issues. And so some are questioning why it is that he had access to a gun, the same gun that he used to kill these innocent people at the baggage claim area. Now, he was being treated in Alaska after complaining of hearing voices and had recently claimed to the FBI that the CIA was forcing him to watch ISIS videos. And that's according to what federal officials have said. His aunt and uncle in New Jersey said that he had not been the same since a 10-month deployment in Iraq with the Puerto Rico National Guard. Finally, Bryan Santiago, who is his brother, said the family had been notified recently by Alaska officials that he, quote, had received psychological counseling in Anchorage. And finally, in January of 2016, he was charged with criminal mischief and a misdemeanor count of assault after he allegedly broke open the door of a bathroom and yelled and choked his girlfriend. So these are all things that we're learning about him. When the story had broke, I know some police officials in the area that were working on this case that were there on the scene, and they had said that he had been discharged from the military, and it seemed like he was kind of mentally unstable. And now it's been confirmed. And so, look, there are a lot of members of our military, a lot of our vets who get deployed, or they do multiple tours in the Middle East, they come back and they don't get the treatment, the health care, the help that they need. And a lot of them suffer from PTSD and a lot of issues. There's 2 things that we need to work on. Obviously, giving them the treatment that they need. And then if we have any indication that they might not be fit to have these types of weapons, we have to ensure that they don't have these types of weapons.
Yeah, and so there's been a couple of veterans in a row here that have done some shootings. So there was the black veteran that recently shot up cops, but he didn't do it because he was a veteran. He did it because of his own crazy racist theories against white people. And then there was a veteran, I'm trying to not give their names because I don't want to give them the publicity, who was a white supremacist and shot up a bunch of cops recently. But again, based on his white supremacist opinions and having nothing to do with the fact that he was a veteran. Here we have another veteran. So, yeah, there might have been a number of veterans in a row, right? It doesn't mean we should profile all veterans. It doesn't mean anything about veterans.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
No, of course not, no. So, but like, because some people are having a backlash to it. Like, oh, are you saying we should discriminate against veterans? No, we're not like you. We're the opposite. We don't believe in discrimination or profiling. So now, if veterans have PTSD, we should give them as much help as we can because we're decent human beings. Plus, it'll lead to better results and not terrible results, right? So, but the main, look, if you know, after every one of these shootings, we all try to analyze what it is, and conservatives love to jump to easy conclusions about, well, I don't know, just figure out what race he is, and then we'll have our answer. If he's Muslim, then it's all Muslims' fault. If he's not Muslim, then he was a lone wolf, or it was mental health issues, or whatever else I'll assign to it, right? And so that's easy. So for me, I don't think it's an easy issue. What do you do with guys who have these mental health problems? Do you lock them up? I don't think that's the right answer, right?
Look, you don't lock them up. First of all, I want mental health treatment to stop being something that politicians, both Democrats and Republicans, use to campaign on, and then as soon as they get elected or as soon as they lose, they just forget about it and they don't care, right? If it's really a priority and they genuinely care about our vets after they've forced them to do multiple deployments in needless wars in the Middle East, they should allocate the necessary funds to ensure that they get everything that they need and make sure that they're okay. In the case of this shooter, he went into a federal building and was delusional. Right? He was paranoid. He was saying all sorts of crazy things. He was saying that the CIA was after him and they were forcing him to watch these videos, these ISIS videos. At that point, when you know that this individual is not in a safe state of mind, I'm not even saying lock him up. Of course not, right? Make sure you get him the help he needs. But even more importantly, after that, make sure that he doesn't have access to firearms until he is emotionally and mentally stable. I'm not even saying ban him from ever having guns again. Of course not. But if he poses any type of public risk, then I feel like it's the government's obligation to make sure that he doesn't do something like this.
No, we're walking on eggshells here for no reason. Of course he shouldn't have a gun. But look, that's not an easy question either, because we're not going to win on the issue of more gun control, right? Let me clarify. We will win on some federal background checks. I hope at some point getting rid of the high capacity magazines and high-powered rifles, etc. I don't mean the rifle overall, but the semi-automatics and the assault weapons, etc. Okay, but we're not going to be able to take away the 300 million guns that already exist in the country. That's just not going to happen. So there is not an easy answer, because we're swimming in this ocean of guns, and if a certain percentage of the country is mentally unbalanced, that's true in every country. But in other countries, they can't just pick up a gun anywhere they reach. But in America, there's guns all around them. So every mentally unhinged person can just pick up a gun from their dad, from their mom, from their neighbor. They could, and because we're all swimming in it. We could probably get a gun in under 2 minutes anywhere you are in America, okay? So we've armed all of our delusional and, in his case, psychotic citizens. Congratulations to us. So there's not going to be a quick fix to that, but buckle up, because I've told you a million times, and it's happened a million more times. A shooting like this is right around the corner where you live.
Yeah, look, Fort Lauderdale is the airport that me and my husband fly into 2 to 3 times a year.
Me too. I go there at least once a year. So I've now missed shootings by a couple miles or a couple of days, half a dozen times. Okay, so, and you probably have as well. And at some point it catches up with someone you know, and don't get surprised and go, oh my God, we couldn't have seen this coming. We filled the country to the rim with weapons, and of course a certain percentage of the country is mentally unhinged, and then of course they're going to do shootings for whatever reason that is real or imagined. So it's, hey man, it's our call. We're choosing to live in the ocean of guns, so don't get surprised. That's all I'm saying. You can help build independent media. We're now doing fundraising to get 4 new investigative reporting teams out there and be the watchers on the wall. We're not going to let Trump get away with anything. We're not going to let the establishment get away with anything. You help us build it. TYTnetwork.com/go. Be part of the solution.